Yes, so who are the animals in the story? Can anybody name the animals in the story? Yes, the animals were, there's a horse, there was a camel, there was an ox, and there was a dog. Okay. And right. And how is man related to all these animals that we have discussed? Why do they talk about man? These animals, they talk about man. Why? Yes, why do these animals, they talk about man? Because they work for him. Yes. And what does a dog do? What does the dog do? Yes, how does the dog work? The dog fetches, so dog comes there with a stick in his mouth, and yes, so his master throws it and he fetches the stick. He played with it, man. Okay, give him company. Yeah. What did the horse do? What did the horse do? Carried him. Yes. So had a saddle on him, and yes, so man would ride the horse. What about the ox? What about the ox? The ox would plow his. So yeah, all of them were working for man. And there's this one animal who's very different, right? Who does not listen to what man says and who's quite away from the other animals. Yeah. And which animal was that? That animal was the camel. And where was the camel? Why? He was in the howling desert, far away from the other animals. Yeah. And how did the camel spend his time? How did the camel spend his time? How did the camel spend his time? By lazing around, doing nothing. And what did it feed on? What did it feed on? So those cactus were there, those stones were there, those prickly plants were there. So it feed on them. And what was the camel's favorite word? What was the camel's favorite word? Yes. So anybody asked him, or the animals, they came and told him to do so many things, and he would not listen to them, and he would just say, humph. Okay. So why was the camel so alone in the desert? Why do you think the camel was there in the desert? Was it hiding from someone? Was it? To be away, did not want to work. He wanted to be alone. But the camel liked to be alone? Yes. Okay. So the animals, they had a problem with the camel. The camel did not have any problem with the other animals. I'm happy doing nothing. And he says that why are they so bothered if I don't want to? But see, it is a habit, you know. If I am working so hard, if I have a lot of homework to do, and then yes, I have, like maybe a test to learn for and so many things to do, and mommy is asking me to do this and that, and my brother is sitting and watching television doing nothing, how will I feel? Will I feel happy? No. I'll start complaining about him. Tell him also to do something. I'm the one doing all the work, isn't it? Yes. So all the animals working so hard, and so they went and complained. Who did they complain to? Who did they complain to? The jinn. Yes. And the jinn came. What did the jinn come? What kind of appearance did the jinn make? With that cloud of dust and all, it came. And yeah, what did the jinn tell? That I'll make this camel work, right? And yes, what happened to the camel then? What happened to the camel? The camel went to drink water, looked at its reflection, and got a hump, just like that. And that hump is still there. Yes, the camels, they have the hump, and that is how they got it. Okay, right. And what is the purpose of that hump? The hump is there, and of course the jinn said that don't worry, that yes, this is going to help you through the days when you did not work, right? So you did not work much as the other animals, so this hump is going to help you survive when you work for many days, and like you're not getting food and water, so this hump is going to help you. What work does the camel do? What work does the camel do? Think. Does humph, even now it does humph only, is it? Yes. So what work does the camel do? It carries, yes, of course, it is there. It carries loads, it carries man, and it is there very important, right? And especially in the desert where other animals cannot move around so comfortably, because the camel decided to live in the desert. It is there, the ship of the desert. It occupies that pride of place over there. It's happy over there. Yes, Sanchik, absolutely right. It is the ship of the desert. And yes, so the problem of the camel was solved. And do you think the other animals are happy now that the camel is also working? Oh, big sigh of relief. Thank God the camel is also working now. Yes, so it is doing something, right? It is there carrying its hump, and look at it, it's carrying the hump around everywhere. And see the way the camel is lucky, it's carrying its own food and water, right? It does not have to worry about remaining hungry and does not have to bother about looking for food for a couple of days. So it can survive. Yes, right. Okay, so this is a very simple story. It teaches us a lesson. What is the lesson learned? Why do we have to look for lessons in all the stories? Why? Some stories should be just enjoyed, isn't it? Yes. So like this, like the camel got his hump. Do you think there are other stories about other animals also? Yes. Okay. Do you know how the tiger got his stripes? Do you know how the tiger got his stripes? Did the tiger also say hump or something like that and got stripes? Okay, I'll share this story with you today. So you're going to watch this nice video that I'm going to share, and you'll find out how the tiger got its stripes. Okay, fine. So yes, so we've just let's get a little serious now, and it's time to get back to the question answers. So can we discuss the questions now? Yes. So everyone has revised the story. It's clear in your minds now. Yes, Prabjot. Yeah, do you remember the story? Yes, everybody. Okay, yeah. Yes, everyone, all of you. Yeah, good. I can see you all there nicely attending and nicely listening to the story. Very good. Okay, so let's just do the questions here. Yes. All of you look at your books, please. Nice colorful book you have. Yeah, colorful pictures. Look at the gin. So they've gone and complained. Oh God. Yes, so this is the comprehension check. Next is the questions. These ones have we discussed. Let's just discuss these questions also left. Yes, so the camel was looking at his own reflection in the pool. What does it suggest to you about the camel? So the camel was there drinking water and was looking at itself, right? So the camel is there looking at himself in the water and maybe doing nothing but just admiring himself. That, oh my God, I'm so good looking, isn't it? Right? So then the jinn had an idea. I'll teach this camel a lesson. What did the jinn do? So yes, we can say that the camel really liked looking at himself, and because he was, like, of course, so big and strong, and so like to look at his reflection. Now the camel said humph repeatedly. How did it affect him? Humph. How did it affect him? That he actually got a humph or a hump. Yes. So what, according to the jinn, was the use of the humph? What was the purpose of the humph? It was, yes, to water and food and to help him work for more days, because according to the jinn, the camel had not worked as many days as the other animals, so he need to put in more hard work, and so to help him come out of those difficult days when he would be working a lot, so he was there, like, given this hump on his back, right? Yes. Yes, because it helps him to survive in this difficult circumstances. Very nice, very good. Okay, he has never yet learned to behave. In the light of this, what is the writer's opinion about the camel? Yes, Ribhav, are you listening? Are you listening, Ribhav? Yes? I'll ask you to narrate the story also one day. Don't worry. We'll have a story narration and let's see who can do it well. Yes, he has never yet learned to behave. What is the writer's opinion about the camel? That he still lives alone, right? And does not mix up with the other animals. And yes, just like it was happy living in the desert all on its own, even now the camel is there, right? Still looks at its hump and right, it has to work, made to work, and does not work on its own because the other animals are there helping man. But yes, so here the camel is there made to walk long distances and learn to, or you can say maybe help man to survive in the desert. Now, can this story be factually true? Can this be a true story? Is it? No, I don't think so. It's a true story. So we don't have all this magic here. If otherwise, we'll have a lot of magic happening in the world, right? So could we use a little bit of magic nowadays? Yes? There's something we can ask a jinn for. Any wish that you would like the jinn to grant you and fulfill it also? So can this story be factually true? Yes? So no, this is not a true story. And it is just the myths, or you can see the ideas which people have regarding the shape and the size of the animals and the appearance of the animals, why they look the way they do. What according to you is the story about? How the world began? Why everyone should do his or share of work seriously? How animals are important to humans? Or how the camel got his hump? So what is it about? Yes? What is this story about? Mainly? What is this story about? It's mainly about, yes, how the camel got his hump. But along with this, we have learned another lesson also. What is it? Animals are important? Or how everyone should do his or share of work seriously, right? So everyone is supposed to do some work and we are there, naturally not here to sit idle. So everyone has to do. How the world started? No. How the world began, it was there. So right, all these things here, do you think it is covering everything? How the world began at the beginning of the world, how they say it was a Monday and everybody had to work, and so by Thursday, right, so the camel had to be taught a lesson, did not work for 3 days, and so it had to survive with its hump. So all these options, yes, you can discuss that how it is, like all these aspects have been discussed in the story. Although the main idea is that how the camel got his hump, because he was lazy, because he was not ready to work for man, because he did not mix up with the other animals, was living alone in the desert, and how as a result of his isolation and because of his aloofness, he got this hump. Okay. What did you do over? So they see the main is how the camel got his hump. That is the whole story. What is it about? Yes, it is how the camel got his hump. What did you do over the weekend? So were you generally active or idle? Tell me honestly, what did you do over the weekend? Did you do a lot of homework? Yes, you prepared for your, yeah, you had a lot of homework to do. Oh my God, so you were very busy. And now just read the next part. Please check your back before starting to discuss or answer the question. So why do we have to check our backs before we answer this question? What could be there on our back if you had been idle and not done anything? A hump, yes. So if you were active, you're fine, right? So anybody got a hump? Now, when you're giving this answer, you're lying. No, nobody got a hump. So we all were active and did a lot of work. Yeah, so we can't ever get a hump. Okay. Yeah, because yes, you have a lot of work to do, and young children like you are always very active. If nothing else, just running around the house keeps them busy, right? Yes. So you had a lot of work to do over the weekend. Now there are broadly two categories of workers: those who prefer to do today what they can do tomorrow, and those who prefer to do tomorrow what they can do today. Where do you belong? So we have naturally, and there are some people who feel that what's the use of doing any work, right? So we'll delay it as long as possible, or not working at all. So there are two workers who prefer to do today what they can do tomorrow, and those who prefer to do tomorrow what they can do today. So which one are you? You are the eager worker, yes, or you are the lazy one who delays till tomorrow. You think about it yourself and give me an honest answer. Yes. So we have both categories of workers. Yeah, so most of you are eager workers, prefer to doing your work today. Otherwise, yeah, there are some students who are in the other, you can say, category also. They delay the work, right? So sometimes, yeah, we are very enthusiastic. Is it regarding every work you have to do that you're so enthusiastic, or it is something that, okay, fine, so I have another, tomorrow never comes, so you have to finish the work today? Is it? So if tomorrow never comes, then why are we busy working? So why are we busy working then if tomorrow never comes? So it is something you enjoy doing. If there is something you want to do, like, yeah, and then you do that work that day itself, and if there's something you don't find very interesting, do you delay that work? Yes. And of course, here, does it also depends on who has given you this work? Whether it's a school work or whether your mummy has asked you to do something. So which work gets more priority? Which work gets more priority? Mummy or school? Yes. We say, yeah, obviously school work, otherwise, so we got an excuse not to do what mummy has told us to do. We say we're busy doing the school work, isn't it? Right. Okay, so yes, so work has an important role in our lives, and everyone has a role to play, right? And if everyone does their work, right, so look at our school only, look at your surroundings only. So if I don't do my work, it is going to affect you, right? If you don't do your work, it is going to affect me. So we all have to do our work so that we work in harmony, so everything remains normal and it keeps on functioning smoothly. So this is how society works. Everybody has to do their work, and only then everything goes on, yes, in a very, you can say, smooth way. Otherwise, things will get disrupted, and there will be, yes, absolutely correct. So we are all connected to each other, and we have to do our work in a disciplined way, in an organized way, so that everything remains balanced, so that harmony is maintained and that society does not get out of order. Okay, right. Yes, sir. Discussed about the format of article writing, so we'll continue with that. Yes. And yeah, so you all are aware of the format, yes? So these students are joining very, very late. What is wrong with them? So let's do this. So we'll discuss this article. So if you remember, we had discussed about article writing. Yes. So if you have to write an article on this topic, online teaching, a revolution in education. So what are we going to write in this? Can we just discuss a few points that we can write down? Do you remember the format of the article? Yes, what is it? So you have the heading and you have the byline. So this is your heading. What is going to be your byline? Give your name, okay, and give your class, right? Yes, is this clear? So after this, let us just discuss the points that we can write about. For online teaching, how is it a revolution in education? Yes. So we have, yes, so it is a revolution. No? So when I talk about revolution in education, and I have not just focused on one aspect, okay? So you can talk both ways. You can talk about the advantages as well as the disadvantages. But yes, let's start over here. So what is online teaching, right? It is through what you can say very online platforms, right? Through the internet you have. Then you can mention a few apps that you have. Yes, the teaching on the internet. So you have your Zoom or you have your Google Meet and all, right? Yes, so which you have for connecting, yes, for teaching. And how is it a big benefit that from the comfort of the homes, right? From the comfort of your homes, you're able to learn. Yes, you're able to learn. You can say, like naturally in this pandemic, when it is not possible for us, to put the lives of young children at risk. So we are able to learn from home. Yes, so from the comfort of the home, you're able to learn. Yeah. And of course, here it is that when we use technology here, right? So we are there getting more connected. I can use various ways. I can share more videos. I can interact also. And yes, does it kinds of replicates the classroom, doesn't it? Yes. So when we talk about online teaching, it does replicate the classroom teaching, and just like we are here connecting with each other, right? So we are, of course, able to share and discuss the chapters, the topics. We're also able to see each other and, of course, know that everybody is doing well. So it is a very important way that, yes, definitely it has brought about a revolution. And the biggest thing is that through this, that no one has suffered, so no one has suffered, otherwise what would have happened? We would have still been in class 6 only, isn't it? Right? And yeah, how would you have struggled with your teaching? And you have now your teachers there discussing all your problems, teaching all your new concepts and ideas. So right, so you have managed, right? You've been promoted to the next class. Yes. So, right, so no one has suffered. There has been no loss in academics. There has no loss in studies. And of course, when we're teaching online, we're checking online, we have our exams online, isn't it? Right? So we have so many discussions. You're doing the activities also online. Your teachers are showing you those videos also. And like whether it's your science practical or it's a maths project, everything is there visible online. Okay. Now, what could be the disadvantages here? Can we write something about the yes, even you have learned, and everybody, irrespective of their age, young and old. So whether it is, like, of course, youngsters like you or your old teacher like me, so we all have learned the use of technology, isn't it? Right? And yes, so we have used it for the benefit of everyone. We are all learning. And this internet has shown us that there is a scope, there's a wide scope outside that we can learn from. Okay. Yes, a little bit disadvantages are there. What are there? So we have, yes, excessive screen time is there. We are now, like, of course, earlier we used to lie in front of the television. We were called couch potatoes. Yes, sitting in front of the television and watching it the whole day. And now we are there, of course, here with that screen, all the light which is there, which is not at all good, right? So long-term effects are there. Yes, you have the eyes are affected. Some places where network issues are there, yes. And sometimes because of technological issues, and it could be an important assignment that you had to send, it could be an important test that you had to send, and because of network issues you were not able to send it. And in most areas, we have, of course, nowadays, internet is there available. Everybody has a data pack also in the phone, but limited data is there. Sometimes students are not able to attend all the classes. They're not able to remain connected. Yes, so attendance issue is there. Students, they take it for granted. Then, yeah, they miss their friends. They miss the classroom. That could also be there. But this is, I would say, it is a great substitute. It's a great replacement. Okay. So we are going to discuss all these. Okay, please do not give a heading for your paragraph. Others were asking me that day. Make sure that yes, you have an introduction. Talk about what is online teaching, right? How is online teaching done? What are the benefits? How it is definitely a more advantage, right? We don't have any discipline issues. We are there, of course. You're muted, you're quiet, so that is also there, right? We have a minimum disturbance in the classrooms, right? And so teaching is also quite effective. And yes, so students are also able to ask questions, they're able to clarify their doubts. Then you can give a very nice conclusion. Or yes, like you want to say in a nutshell, I would like to say, make separate paragraphs, as many ideas as you get, so you can move on to the next paragraph. Okay, clear? So you will be able to write this one. Anybody having any doubts? This is quite simple, quite easy for you all. So you will be able to manage. So you can just put it to practice. Okay. So this one you will definitely write for me. I'd like to see what you are going to do. Yeah, this one you have to send me. Okay. Clear?